Monica Everett was a very special witch. Unlike others, she didn't need to say incantations to use magic. She had once defeated a legendary dragon all by herself. Even though she was incredibly powerful, Monica was extremely shy and had trouble talking to people. The story begins with a massive battle. A group of mages was trying to defend their land from a sudden dragon attack. Huge dragons flew in from all directions, and the mages quickly created a magic wall to protect themselves. This battle happened in the kingdom of Riddell in the land owned by Count Kerbeck. His territory had been attacked by dragons for years, so the people were used to fighting them. In fact, Count Kerbeck's family had a long history of fighting dragons. The mages tried hard to hit one of the dragons with powerful magic, but their attacks didn't work. They decided their best chance was to aim at the dragon's eye. If they could blind it, the dragon would fall, and they could cut off its head. The commander told everyone to stay strong and keep their positions no matter what. Suddenly, the ground began to shake violently. It felt like a huge earthquake or maybe something worse. Everything went silent. People looked around, frightened and confused. They wondered if this was the end or if something even more terrible was coming. Then they saw the cause of the shaking. A gigantic black dragon. It was more than 500 meters long, dark as night, and much larger than any dragon they had ever seen. The smaller dragons flew around it like tiny flies. If the small dragons were already too strong for humans, there was no chance they could fight this one. This black dragon had appeared only twice in history. Each time entire cities were destroyed. Meanwhile, in the royal palace, Count Kerbeck's daughter Isabella had been warned by her assistant that danger was near and they needed to leave quickly. But Isabella refused to escape. She said her father and the knights were out there fighting for the kingdom and she couldn't abandon her people. Even if she had to fight, she was determined to stay. At the same time, a hooded mage is seen walking through the rough mountains of the kingdom. A few months later, far away from the battlefield, Monica is in her small, messy home. Her assistant arrived, bringing a basket full of vegetables, carrots, tomatoes, and more. The room was cluttered with books and trash. The assistant gave her news. 3 months ago, dragons had attacked the eastern border. Many winged dragons had been seen near a village, and the worst part was that the legendary black dragon had led them. It seemed like one of the 7 sages had summoned the dragon, and no one knew who had done it or who had stopped the attack. Monica quietly gave her assistant a large amount of money as thanks for bringing food. The assistant was shocked by how much money she gave and asked what Monica did for a living. Monica nervously replied that she was a math teacher. Then the assistant mentioned that someone had come to see her. Monica immediately panicked. She didn't like meeting strangers and didn't want anyone to find out who she really was. She turned around and saw a man standing at the door. She slammed it shut out of panic, but he pushed it open and walked right in, acting like he owned the place. Though he was a bit annoying, he used magic to clean up the whole room in just a few seconds. The man was Louise, one of the 7 sages of Riddell, just like Monica. He was one of the kingdom's most powerful magic users. He sat down and looked at her. Monica was known as the Silent Witch. She was beautiful but very shy. She couldn't speak in front of crowds and often fainted from nervousness. When she was a student at the magic school, the Minerva Institute, she struggled in class because she couldn't say her spells out loud. Then she came up with a clever idea. If she couldn't speak spells, she would learn to use magic silently. This was something almost no one could do, but Monica made it work. From there, her skills quickly improved. Back in the present, Louise sighed and said she was still wasting her amazing talent. He asked his maid to set up a magic barrier around the room so no one could hear them. Then Louise explained why he had come. The king had given him a special task, to secretly protect the second prince. Monica was surprised, especially because Louise was known to support the first prince. Louise admitted that was true, but he explained that the king had personally given him this mission, and he didn't think it was his place to question the king's decision. He told her that Prince Felix, the second prince, was currently studying at Serendia Academy, a boarding school. Louise said it would be suspicious if he got close to the prince himself because everyone knew who he was, so he wanted Monica to go instead. He showed her a magical brooch that he had designed. It had many functions: a communication spell, a shield, and a tracking device. He had given one to the prince and wore one himself. That way they would be linked and he could offer help if anything happened. Monica was shocked and asked if this was considered spying. Louise calmly explained that he wasn't spying. He was protecting someone under royal orders. It was normal to keep watch over someone when their life was in danger. Then he shared more about the brooch. It had originally been a gift from the king to the prince, but it broke just one day after being given. Another sage named Chris had spent a full week crafting it without any rest, yet it was destroyed almost immediately. Louise had worked hard to build a new one, even spending time away from his beloved wife. Monica asked if the prince was safe, and Louise confirmed that he was, though the situation worried him. After learning that the brooch had broken by accident, Louise had rushed to the academy himself. The staff told him that nothing strange had happened. He looked directly at Monica and told her she needed to understand what he was saying. But Monica nervously replied that she didn't understand any of it. So Luis said it clearly. He wanted her to take his place and secretly protect the prince at the academy. Monica's eyes widened in fear. She said she couldn't do it, but Luis explained that she was ideal for the mission. He told her that she was quiet, unknown, and powerful. No one would suspect her. He said she was wise and kind and that she would never do anything to harm the prince. Also, unlike him, she wasn't part of high society. She always kept her head down at formal events, and no one even knew what she looked like. That made her the perfect hidden guardian. He also reminded her of her rare talent, using magic without speaking. That power made her perfect for protecting someone in secret. Monica started crying. She really didn't want to do this, but Luis didn't let up. He reminded her that although she had joined the Seven Sages 2 years ago, she hadn't done much besides writing papers. Monica tried to defend herself by saying she had killed a dragon 3 months ago. Luis replied that he had killed 10 dragons in that same time. He told her to take his words seriously. She was one of the kingdom's greatest mages. There were things only she could do. Monica said she was just a reserve member of the sages, but Luis didn't care. The king had made him responsible for the prince's safety, and if Luis said she had to help, then she had no choice. Monica finally agreed, though unwillingly. Luis then shared his plan. A few years ago in Count Kerbeck's territory, there had been an orphan girl. The old countess had adopted her because she looked like her late husband. The girl had lived happily until the countess died. Then the count's daughter started treating her like a servant. When the daughter got accepted into Serendia Academy, she brought the orphan girl as her maid. Luis told Monica she would now pretend to be that maid and infiltrate the academy. Monica was shocked. She could hardly believe what she was being asked to do. That night, she sat quietly, trying to process everything. Her cat Nero tried to comfort her. Monica whispered that she couldn't protect the prince. Nero replied that she should refuse then. Monica said she couldn't say no. Luis would keep coming after her. Even his gloves couldn't hide the roughness of his knuckles, which scared her. Nero tried to lift her spirits by mentioning that the prince was probably handsome and that he liked books. Monica wondered if she had ever seen the king before, but admitted she always closed her eyes out of embarrassment at events. Nero sighed, questioning how she planned to protect someone she'd never even seen. The next day, Monica flew through the sky with Luis and his maid named Ren. They arrived at Luis's home, where his wife greeted them. She noticed that Monica looked pale and unwell. After resting, Monica felt a little better. However, suddenly, a girl laughed at her poor clothing. She mocked her name, saying she was part of the lowest class in the Kerbeck family. But then, she surprised them. She said she had been practicing how to speak like a mean girl, then proudly introduced herself as Isabella, daughter of Count Kerbeck. She thanked Monica for slaying the Black Dragon on behalf of her father and the villagers. Isabella remembered when the Black Dragon had attacked. They had been heading straight for the palace when a young boy rushed in to announce that a mage from the capital had defeated it. That mage had been Monica, the silent sorceress. She had defeated the dragon alone and vanished without a word. However, shortly after the Black Dragon was defeated, green dragons came to the city seeking revenge. One large dragon even landed on the palace roof. Just as it attacked, Monica cast a spell and defeated it with a single strike. Then she silently removed the dragon corpses with wind magic and disappeared once again. In the present, Isabella smiled. She said Monica had defeated not just the Black Dragon, but all the other dragons too, and all on her own. Now that Monica was going undercover at the academy, Isabella promised to act mean to her in public so no one would suspect the truth. All Monica had to do was focus on protecting the prince. The next day, Monica had a dream. In it, her father gave her a measuring tape. She smiled brightly and began measuring everything in their house from tables to windows. She felt proud and excited, like her father's little helper. But the dream ended and she woke up inside a carriage. The soft rocking reminded her of where she really was. She was on her way to Serendia Academy to begin her secret mission. It was an important job, and even though she was nervous, she knew she had no choice but to do her best. At the academy, Isabella was not happy. She was told that she would have to share a room with Monica. A staff member apologized, thinking Monica might be related to Isabella. But earlier that day, Monica had actually told the academy that she didn't want to share a room with anyone. She believed she couldn't live in such a situation because it made her uncomfortable. Isabella, hearing this, smiled and whispered that she would solve the problem in her own way, like a proper noble lady. Later, Isabella made a big scene in front of the staff. She acted surprised and upset about the room-sharing arrangement. A staff member panicked and quickly offered to find another room for her. Isabella dramatically said the attic would be fine, and if not, even the stables would do. Monica was taken aback by her act. When the staff left, Isabella gave Monica a quick wink, revealing it was all just a performance to help her. Meanwhile, in the student council meeting room, trouble was brewing. Aaron, the treasurer, was being investigated for changing the financial records over 30 times. The other members, Elliot, Bridget, Neil, and council president Felix, were all serious. Felix reminded Aaron that the only reason he was part of the council was because of a recommendation from his powerful grandfather, Duke Clockford. Aaron grew angry, insulted Felix, and tried to attack him. But before he could do anything, Cyril, another member of the council, used a freezing spell to stop him. He calmly warned Aaron that attacking someone on school grounds was a serious offense. That evening, Isabel was sad she couldn't stay with Monica. She had planned for them to have a tea party together, and now that moment was lost. As she walked through the academy, she saw Aaron being dragged away by the student council. He kept shouting that he was innocent. Isabella saw the group from a distance. She had met most of them before, except for Cyril. The next day in class, the teacher Victor introduced Monica. He reminded the students that Serendia Academy was meant for the elite, the best of the best. Monica remembered her past. She had been bullied before, and now the fear returned. She didn't say anything and quietly took her seat. The other students chatted, but Monica kept to herself. A girl named Lena approached Monica. She asked why Monica wore her hair in braids. Monica quietly replied that she didn't know how to style it any other way. Lana asked where she was from, and when Monica said she came from the city of Lynn, Lana started asking about fashion trends there. But Monica didn't know any. Lana then told her that in the royal capital, the latest trend was something called lipstick. Without waiting, she reached out and began styling Monica's hair. She told her not to move. When Lana finished, she showed Monica her reflection in a mirror. Monica was shocked. She hadn't said a single word during the makeover, but her appearance had completely changed. Later, Monica wandered through the academy, trying to stay unnoticed. She thought about what would happen if she failed her mission. Lewis, her superior, had warned her not to make mistakes. She had to try harder. She found a quiet spot and checked her lunch, a small portion of food. Just then, she bumped into someone. It was Prince Felix. Monica quickly tried to turn around, but Elliot suddenly appeared. He grabbed her arm and accused her of being a spy. She dropped her meal and, in the confusion, fell to the ground. Felix told Elliot to let her go. After learning that she was a new student, Felix kindly picked up her food, handed it back to her, and called her a shy little squirrel. While Monica was trying to thank Felix, something suddenly fell toward them from above. But Monica quickly used her magic to protect them. Elliot ran off to check what had happened. Felix then turned to Monica to ask if she was okay. However, Monica collapsed and passed out. When she woke up, Selma, a girl from the health committee, was by her side. She said Monica could return to her dorm after calming down. Back in her room, Monica lay on her bed, exhausted. Her talking cat Nero asked how her day went. Monica felt like everything had gone wrong. She almost cried. Nero told her not to give up and even suggested using mind control magic. But Monica refused. She believed the kind of magic was too dangerous and unfair to use on others. Monica felt guilty. Everyone had been kind to her, but she couldn't even properly thank them. Nero offered to help. He turned into a human to show he could be useful. But Monica screamed and ran away, startled by his transformation. Just then, they noticed a strange man hanging around the dorm area. Nero guessed that this person might be targeting the prince. Monica was shocked. She told Nero she had already met Prince Felix. That night, Monica dreamed about her father and the research he used to do. She asked if his research had been finished when he completed some formulas. But her father had only completed a small part. The research was huge and not many people found it useful, which surprised Monica because he had worked so hard. After waking up, Monica washed her face and looked at herself in the mirror. She realized she had never really cared for her hair before. She asked Nero what he didn't think was useless. Nero thought she was getting philosophical and proudly said he knew the word philosophy, asking her to praise him. He added that enjoying pointless things made life better since life is full of meaningless moments anyway. He quoted a writer named Dustin Gunther who wrote something similar in a novel. But Monica had been fighting hard just to survive, so she couldn't understand how to enjoy meaningless things. Then she remembered something her father said, the greater the challenge, the greater the joy. She realized she needed to challenge herself more, so she went to class and tried to talk to Lana. Lana was surprised to see Monica's new look and asked what happened. Monica said she had tried to fix her hair like Lana did the day before but couldn't do it right. She thanked Lana for helping her yesterday, but Lana said she didn't want anything in return like a headband. Monica then asked Lana to teach her how to do her hair properly. Lana laughed and Monica felt embarrassed but happy when Lana told her to sit down so she could help. Lana explained that the comb she used came from ambiel and was decorated with tiny gemstones. But then she stopped and said her stories were boring and always sounded like rich girl talk. Monica admitted her own stories were boring too because they were all about numbers. Lana laughed and said that was strange but fun, and Monica laughed with her. When Monica saw her new hairstyle in the mirror, she was amazed. The way the braid was placed and the angle made a huge difference. Her hair looked beautiful, but Lana told her it wasn't about numbers, it was about feeling. Just then, Elliot entered the classroom. Everyone was shocked except Monica, who became very nervous and tried to hide. Elliot found her hiding and teased her, calling her a shy little squirrel. Monica told him she was human and felt very embarrassed. Elliot told her to be quiet and follow him. He brought her to the student council office, where Felix apologized for calling her over so suddenly. He introduced himself as the president of the student council. Monica remembered Louis once told her this wasn't a good way to meet people. She thanked Felix, which surprised him. He said he didn't think he had done anything worth thanking. She told him it was for picking up her food and giving it back to her, but he told her not to worry about it. Then she asked him why he had been sneaking around the dorm last night. Elliot was surprised. This was the first time he had heard about it. Monica explained that she had seen someone from her window who looked like him, but the person had a hood and she couldn't see his face. Felix argued that a lot of people had the same body shape, but Monica quickly grabbed some chalk and started writing on the board. She explained that the person in the hood had the golden ratio. She was good at estimating sizes and measurements just by looking, and she described the person's body with exact details. She said his head had a width-to-height ratio of 1 to 1.618, a ratio many people believe is the most beautiful. Even though the person was wearing clothes, Monica said she could tell where his navel was by the length of his legs. She also claimed that both Felix and the hooded person had the same upper to lower body proportions that matched the golden ratio. After talking so much, Monica suddenly realized she might have said too much and looked embarrassed. But Felix calmly confirmed that all her measurements were correct. As expected, she really was just a harmless little squirrel. Felix said that if Monica were really an assassin, she wouldn't have done nothing when they were alone or talked so openly like that. Monica brought up the flower pot incident, suggesting maybe it just fell by accident. Felix explained that Aaron had been locked in the dorm and would be expelled soon. There had also been another incident where a wooden board almost fell on Felix. Aaron hinted that he had help, so they set a trap in the backyard to catch the real culprit. That's when Monica realized they suspected her of being the assassin. Elliot even asked her to confess, but Monica wasn't the one responsible. Elliot then asked her to help find the real attacker, and she had no choice but to accept. Afterwards, Monica cried while hugging Nero, her talking cat. Nero commented that it was a big problem. She was being mistaken for an assassin when she was supposed to be Felix's bodyguard. That marks the end of today's anime recap. If you enjoyed the video and want more of it, please support the channel by leaving a like and subscribe. Let's help us reach a current goal of 10K subscribers.